everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, I'm showing you how to wear the culotte. I hope everyone's had a lovely week so far. If you're new here, my name is Alarna and I'm a fashion stylist and image consultant based here in Sydney, Australia. We've had a beautiful last few days of weather. On Monday night, I was wearing a coat out and today it's like 28 degrees outside, which is amazing. And I just hope that spring has started and this is the start of something really lovely for this year. And I hope I haven't jinxed it and it's going to be torrential rain next week, but we'll see how we go. So today what I wanted to do was share with you how to style the culotte pant. And the reason I chose that particular pant this week was because I think it's a bit more of a trend seasonal piece that you can wear in these in-between times when the weather's a little bit all over the place. And I think they are a really fun, just different shape of pant. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how you can wear them, but I'm also going to share some commonly asked questions such as, can I wear culottes if I'm petite? Or what length should they be? Or what shoes can I wear with them? And I'm also going to go into whether or not they're going to go out of fashion soon. So stick around for that. I'm going to put all those kind of frequently asked questions at the end of this video, and for now I'm going to show you some looks. So for this first look, I've got a white high-waisted pair of culotte trousers. I've got a red wrap top on and I wanted to match my red top to my red shoes just to make those aspects of my outfit stand out. I know that white pants can be super scary and I know that wide white pants can be even scarier. So by adding a brighter color or by opening up your neckline or even putting something on that kind of distracts people from that white pant, it helps to make that outfit look even better and helps you feel like you can pull it off a little bit more. So for look 2, I've got a little bit more of a work look. I've got a navy blue linen stretch culotte and I like this particular culotte as something that you could wear to work because it's a darker color. I find if you wanted to try this style of pant out in your work environment, I think it's a good idea to start with a darker color. It doesn't have to be black and it doesn't have to be navy. It could be dark red, dark green, could be really dark orange. I think just go for a little bit of a darker color in a work environment. Always looks a bit more polished. And then what I've done is I've taken a top that is normally an off the shoulder top, but I've just pulled the sleeves up to sit on top of my shoulders and create a bit of a different shape for myself. I chose this top because it's got a bit more volume up the top. Now, if you're a little bit scared of trying culottes because you think they're going to make you look wider or bigger than you are, sometimes doing a printed or a more voluminous top can be a really good way to take attention off the bottom half of your body and bring it up. I also chose a pair of navy blue pointed toe closed in shoes. I chose closed in because I think that'd be really good for work, but I chose navy just to blend the navy in with the pant and kind of create a nice little pairing. So this next outfit is the white culotte again. I've got a white button-up shirt on, and what I've done with this shirt is I've rolled up the sleeves to 3/4 just to bring a bit more attention to my waistline. I've undone the bottom few buttons and I've tied it in kind of like a little bit of a knot around my waist, and then I've unbuttoned it a little bit at the collar just to bring a bit more attention to my face. I really liked having a bit of an all-white look, so I wanted to add in a white and nude shoe just to kind of bring that look together and keep it looking very fresh. And I think this is a look you could wear out casually all the way through to going out. Now for this next look, I've got the navy blue linen culotte on. I've got a blue and white striped tank. I've got an orange pair of cork espadrilles, and then I've got a nice kind of rattan leather bag. I like this look because you could just run to the shops in it. You could go grab a coffee. It's super casual. It's a really easy way to wear culottes, and it's just a little bit different from dressing them up all the time. So sometimes it's just a case of throwing them on with a t-shirt, or even throwing them on with a pair of sneakers or a flat sandal can be a really good way to keep them looking casual. So let's move on to some frequently asked questions. The first one is, how are culottes meant to fit? So they are meant to be a looser fitting garment through the leg. Most of the time they have a bit of a straight cut or an A-shaped cut, like an A-line cut. They aren't meant to be fitted throughout the whole body. If they're fitted throughout the whole body, that is a capri pant. So the culotte pant is a 3/4 length pant, a bit like a capri, but the main difference between the two of them is that the culotte is wider and the capri is often a bit more fitted. Around the waist, the culotte can be either a high waist or a mid waist. Over the years, sometimes that can change as to what's in fashion. I find generally these pants are the most flattering at their high waist. And where should the culotte pant hit on the leg? So this can be different depending on your height and depending on what types of shoes you want to wear with them. But a really good rule of thumb is that you don't want them to touch your ankle and you don't want them to be on the knee or just above the knee. They need to be a bit past the knee, kind of mid-calf area, and a few inches above the ankle. Anywhere in between that kind of cropped pant mark and mid-calf mark is where you want this pant to fit. If you are quite tall, you can pull off the longer culotte. If you are shorter, I would suggest you go for a shorter culotte, which means that you would wear your culotte around the mid part of your calf. And that brings me to my next question, which is, can you wear culottes if you're petite? Yes, you can. I've got plenty of clients who are petite and they wear them and they work them really well. I think the trick is making sure you get a high rise pair. That way your legs look quite long in them. And because you have a high rise, that means that you need to tuck in that top that you wear with them and try and show off that high waistline a little bit more. It doesn't mean that you have to wear sky high heels with them. You could still wear a sneaker or a sandal or a ballet flat with them, but just make sure you go high rise and tuck that top in. The other thing you want to pay attention to when you're doing a pant like this, if you are petite, is going for that slightly shorter length. So you're going to go for mid-calf rather than just above the ankle. And what shoes can you wear with culottes? So I find these pants to be pretty versatile. I find the most flattering thing to do is wear a shoe that shows off a lot of your foot, and that is usually a sandal. If you can't wear a sandal, maybe a closed-in shoe, one that doesn't completely cover you up to your ankle. Some people do wear ankle boots with culotte trousers, but I do think that can often cut you off. I would suggest if you are going to do a boot that you probably go for a boot that ends kind of before the pant ends. So you kind of want that boot to look like it's tucked in underneath the culotte, which means that you'd be going for a slightly longer culotte pant. Now, the other shoes that you can wear with it would be something like a closed-in sneaker. You could wear a slide. I think whatever you wear with it, just make sure you have that length to a point where you still feel tall wearing it. These pants have the tendency to wear people if they aren't the right length, and often when you go into stores, things are made a little bit longer. So pay attention to where that length is ending on you. And will culottes go out of fashion, and are they a trend piece? So this style of pant, I wouldn't say is something that is going to date terribly. This style of pant has actually been around since the French Revolution. Women started wearing it in the Victorian era. In the 30s, if you do know a little bit of fashion history, Elsa Schiaparelli, she wore them, and they actually wanted to put in a law, which they ended up doing, to stop women from wearing them. And this is one of the first signs of women wearing pants, because they looked a bit like a skirt. This was a pant that women could wear swimming, and they could do leisure activities in, and over the years it has constantly come around. And because fashion is a bit of a revolving door, it's always come back a little bit more interesting, a little bit different, and it's really been incorporated into the trends of the time. So I think you can definitely wear a culotte, and I think they're a bit of a classic piece. Whether you want to make them look like you've worn them with a little bit of a 30s sense of style or a 50s sense of style. I know 2020 and next year there's a bit of a 70s kind of style happening, and they wore that style of trouser in the 70s as well. They also wore it in jumpsuit styles and layered it up. They wore it again in the 80s and 90s. So it's something that certainly comes back around. I don't think it's something that you're going to have in your wardrobe for one season and have to get rid of next season. I think they're a pretty classic pair of pants. I also think it's just nice sometimes to have a different shape of pant in your wardrobe that isn't the classic kind of slim leg pant or skinny jean. Whether it's casual or work or going out kind of clothing that you're looking for, try and think about having variety in your wardrobe, and this style of pant is a really good way to give you that. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe, and please leave a comment below with any ideas you have for future videos, and let me know what you thought of this video, whether you liked me dropping in a few little historical facts, or whether you thought they were super boring. I absolutely love fashion history, so I do really enjoy putting in the little facts, but if you guys find it like watching paint dry, let me know. But I hope you guys have an absolutely lovely week, and I'll see you guys on Sunday with another video.